Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to just do a little bit of a Sonic discussion since I just talked about Sonic's at AM and how I feel the movie being number one for the second week in a row and possibly the third week upcoming maybe, and possibly being in the top 5 is going to help renew, if not immediately, right off the bat, but renew interest. Hold on. Like I said, renew interest in the Sonic's at AM IP/property of the overall franchise. But speaking of Sonic, there's a few things I want to talk about real quickly. First of all, I did not yet listen to the Ken Penders interview that people have been talking about. So I will probably watch that later when I get home and give my overall thoughts. Now, as far as, speaking of Penders, one friend of mine asked me what my thoughts were on the pitch that Ken Penders had done for Sonic Armageddon, which, in case you guys don't know, Penders went behind Ben Hurst's back to do his own movie, because Ben Hurst originally wanted to do at least a movie finale conclusion for Sonic's at AM, kind of wrap things up. Penders sounded like he was going to, Penders got in contact with him, sounded like he was going to help him out, and then went behind his back. And thus, that's why we got the pitch for Sonic Armageddon, which unfortunately didn't go anywhere. Now, we've had other people try to do a Sonic movie before the one we got, in animated form at least. People like Ken Penders, people like Ben Hurst, even a guy that's very controversial in the fan base, Richard Kuta, that's Richard, and last name is Kuta. He even tried it, supposedly. But anyway, besides that, my overall thoughts were, I don't know if it would have worked. I mean, basically what it looks like to me is Sonic Armageddon would have been like a soft reboot of the overall SatAM franchise. Like, it was going to be darker. It was definitely going to be darker. It was probably going to end up getting, I'm not saying it would have, because this was around the time that Don Bluth and 20th Century Fox, when they were their own entity, had released Titan AE. So Titan AE got released, and it was rated PG, although it was dark for a PG rated movie. So I look at Sonic SatAM, or Sonic Armageddon I should say, and I look at something that potentially could have been borderlining PG-13, just the way it was described. Now, again, like I said, I will say this. I don't know if it would have worked, but I definitely see that it would have been darker, very darker than Sonic SatAM. And I think possibly what Penders had in mind for it was to reboot it, was to do a soft reboot, retcon of SatAM, and go in a direction that, like I said, was darker, more apocalyptic than ever. And that's basically what I feel we could have got. I feel that's the direction Penders wanted to go, but unfortunately that never happened. So, my overall thoughts? Honestly, I can't say. I mean, even if it did become a reality, I don't know if it would have been, I don't know if any studio would have picked it up. I don't know if 20th Century Fox, Universal, Warner Brothers, Disney, or some independent company would have picked it up. I don't know. So, I'll say this. If it became a reality and it got a chance on the big screen, I don't think it would have been a success. I mean, it probably would have been a success its first weekend, but then I feel it probably would have dropped off afterwards, and before you know it, would have ended up on DVD and home video. That's what I think would have happened. That's honestly what I think would have happened. So, and I think honestly it'd be because of the fact that it would have had a darker tone than what people were used to. I think maybe because there's a possibility, the way Penders was describing it, it would have got a PG-13 rating. So, that's what I think. That's what honestly I think. So, I can't really say yay or nay on it. But like I said, I will talk about the interview the interview Penders did, and kind of give my thoughts on it once I see it. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about something that Matt, Mega Beatman of Mega Beatman's True Blue Reviews, recently did. He reviewed issue 25, the 25th anniversary issue for the IDW Sonic book, and basically is the lead-in, or at least the first part, of a full-part finale as far as he can tell. And let's just say that when the finale does happen, I think everybody, including myself, even though I haven't read much of the comic, and I plan to eventually, once this thing is over, I along with anybody else, is pretty much going to be happy this thing's done. Because you know what? This whole Zombot arc that they were doing, or they have been doing, honestly, I think anybody would agree, whether you like Ian Flynn, I should say, or you don't, I think everybody would pretty much agree that this Zombot story arc should have ended a long time ago. It should have been done long ago. It shouldn't have been dragging on as long as it has. And again, I think it's due to the fact that, as I mentioned in my live stream response and my follow-up video to what Lance J and others have said about Penders, I mean, not Penders, but Ian Flynn, I think honestly it's because Ian's taken on all these other projects, which is delaying the conclusion of the story arc a lot longer. So I honestly believe that once this is over in the next few months, people are going to be elated, and hopefully whoever takes over writing duties for a while, when it comes to the comic, they won't go in that direction anymore. Honestly. And I'll be honest with you as well. I think this whole Zombot story arc that they were doing, I think honestly it was Ian Flynn making up for the fact that he could not fully complete his Mecha Sally arc the way he wanted. Remember, Ian Flynn wanted the Mecha Sally arc to go to at least 250, 275, maybe 300 at the most, when the Sonic book was under the Archie license. So I think honestly, this was Ian Flynn's way of trying to make up for that. This whole Zombot arc, which again, honestly should have been over with long before it's going to be. Like, it should have been concluded a long time ago, and I think anybody watching would agree with that. So, but basically though, that's just my overall thoughts on that, and hopefully after this is all said and done, we won't have to deal with this kind of a story arc again. But overall, folks, that's all I'm going to say in this little short Sonic discussion video on several topics. Let me know what you guys think about what I had to say on both of them. And I'll catch you all later. I got to clock into work now, and I am out.